Oh shit, Nachito. Yeah, looks like you are first today, buddy. What's up, man? How's your day going? You had that big interview. Dude, usually Tom is in here first. But yesterday Furby got him, and today you got him. Yeah, what was it? Why? What makes you think that it didn't go that well? I saw what you said on Discord. Because, like you said, you represented yourself in the like application process, so it's not like you like led them on or anything. Just it didn't really flow the conversation. Ooh. Dude, were okay? This is gonna seem really random and maybe potentially kind of creepy, but were you up like super late playing Destiny? I was just stuttering as data analyst. It's all about presenting and research. Yeah, but if you're a quant, no one expects numbers people to be good at people skills. So that's you have that going for you. It wasn't flowing that much. No, I said, were you up really late playing Destiny? Because I thought I saw you on when I woke up. I mean, you're like 3 hours behind me too, so. It wasn't flowing that much. Well, hopefully they are in the same boat. They're just like, wasn't great, but he seemed like a nice guy. Now I was up really early playing this. I fell asleep for about 3 hours and was taking care of my brother all night. They said, "Oh, dang, you're a good brother, man. That's what's up. I like that." As an older brother, my oldest brother, I should say, as an oldest brother myself, I can appreciate that. I have two younger brothers. One 132 and 129. About to be 29. And shit, I'm about to be 34 in 4 days. Holy shit, in 4 days? Where did that come from? Damn. All right, let's you're younger but your brother's high functioning. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, good thing you're there. I didn't realize you were in that situation. But it sounds like you're like, you're handling shit. Let's see. What should we get into today? I think I have to write my blog. I do have to do that. I'm gonna have to look for science articles. Hmm. I'm trying to look up if you need to italicize book series. Oh, okay, yeah. Not that wild though. He takes care of himself pretty good, but he lags on stuff, so you need someone to help remember and keep him on track. Man, but like, it's a good thing you're there. Because I mean, it just sounds like he needs support. So you're willing and able to support him. That's dope. That's that kind of like unpaid shit, unpaid work that is that's crucial. That's like often overlooked, but that's so important. Okay. Let's see. Write down the time. It is 9:30. Making some caldo. Oof, that's nice. You're making it? Damn, dude, I can't believe you're so like fucking crafty. Like I cannot make shit. Man, I bet. In the middle of summer, dude, I don't know if your dad is like that or not, but I know my dad, it can be the hottest day in summer and he will still get like sopa de mondongo or like caldo de pollo or something. Like he always will eat soup. And it's like, what the fuck, man? How can you eat hot ass soup on a hot ass day? And he's like, I don't even care. All right, let's. What time is it? 10:30. And then the question is, do you italicize book titles? So, one, if you're referencing a single book, yes, 100% of the time, always italicize book titles. However, if you're talking about the series, you can get away with not italicizing. So, for example, the Harry Potter series, that is not italicized. But if you're talking about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, that is italicized every time. Get in the habit, even if it's emails. Just always italicize book titles. It's a good rule of thumb. If you have any other author writing questions, author type questions, come by and we're hanging out on Twitch Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. So if you just go to my Twitch channel, come and ask your writing question, and we can talk about it. So easy, man. Like I said, everything is super easy in cooking. You just got to get experience. Yeah, man. But I don't even try because I'm like, oh, rice cooker. Okay, I can cook that. I can do that. I feel like I'm playing catch up with my dad. He's so crafty and hands on, has so much endurance, and he's almost 50. Dude, amen. It was interesting because my dad and I'll talk about my family a little bit. My dad and I were very very different for like, and we did not get along for God the first 20 years. 100% just oil and water. Um, but he's a janitor, and so he works what 6 a.m. to 2, I think, 6 to 2:30 or something. And then he'd come home, he'd run a couple miles, and then he'd go to his second job cleaning the church. And so he'd do that for 2 hours. So then he'd finally get home at 6 p.m. after putting in 6, 7 p.m. after putting in 12 hours. And then in my ass, I literally just, I mean, when I was in high school, I didn't work out. I played soccer and I played video games. And I did well enough in school. I got into Maryland's engineering program. And so he was very proud of that. But it was always a thing like I'm just gonna use my brain, and he is just stubborn as fuck. Like he just works and works and works, and he'll just show up and keep banging his head against the wall. And I was like, nah, 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 I'll use my brain. Okay, well then fast forward to like 22, 23, and then I got out of college and I got done with, got into like exercising and working and everything. And I'm just like, dude, and now, okay, my dad's like super regimented. Like he has to have his breakfast has the same breakfast every day at the same time. He has the same lunch. He has the same dinner, or not same dinner because my mom cooked it, but he would he'd want to eat it at the same time. So he's like, no, I want it at 6 p.m. or whatever it was. But then after I got out of school and I started working, I was like, shit, man. I was like, this guy he knows what's up. So now I'm like, literally, I'm up early. I'm up before anyone. Like I have my same meals at the same time. I drink water at the same time every day. It's like you just go all day. And so it just took me until I was like late 20s before I was like, dang, me and my dad have way more in common than I ever wanted to admit. But it's just like shit. It's wild. Cause he's my dad's 62. About to be 63 this month. And so he's the same thing where it's like, fuck man, how do you do this shit? You're like an old man. You're running laps around me. But it's just like that immigrant grind, man. Just different. All right. So we got that done. Let's go ahead. No, like I try and remember it. So I have a cousin. I have a cousin who's like really bougie, and she's okay, Nachito, you'll appreciate this. So for example, my dad's from El Salvador and my mom's white. And then I just say I'm Salvadoran most of the time because it's like I'm obviously not white, and so I'm just like, all right, like that's just we don't need to explain. My cousin though, she's Salvadoran and Colombian. And dude, when I tell you she acts like the most bougiest Colombian there is, I'm dead ass. Like she is just out here. And so it's funny because we like me and my brother like will ask me and he's like, "Yo, dude, like why does she act like that? Why is she trying to why is she trying to impress everyone, or like why is she front like she has money like that?" Cuz we know how much everything, and like we know what's everything, like we like it's like, come on, we know your dad's not like, none of y'all have money like this. What are you doing? So anyways, um it's just like she always says she's Colombian and never says she's Salvadoran. But I just want to like remind her and just be like, bitch, like your dad's a Salvadoran immigrant. Like I don't know how else to say this. Like just fucking start grinding, start working, and like stop fronting. So it's yeah, it's interesting because I'm just like, dude, she leans into the Colombian thing, and it's just like she literally doesn't even say she's Salvadoran at all. It's like she just says she's Colombian. It's like, okay, but your dad's definitely a Salvadoran immigrant. So, anyways, Tom, what's up, man? What's today? How's your Wednesday going? Nachito, I watched a guy today. He started his stream at like 7 a.m., 7:30, and he's like, I'm not getting off until I solo flawless duality. And he just finished at 3:15. He just cleared it. It was his 10th attempt with a Titan. That shit, I watched it. Well, I not watched it, like, because the first two bosses are easy for him. It's the third boss. And so then he finally did it at 3. Oh dang. There's an armed suspect near Justice Kavanaugh's house. That's over near me. There are distinct features each place of Latin America has. Dude, okay, listen to this shit too. So this is another thing that you almost have to be like a Latin American to understand or Latino to understand. My brother, he has like tattoos like me. His whole arms are sleeved and everything. Well, because El Salvador is like, it's Mara is like the thing that most people will associate with first, and so when he's in like these when he gets caught out at night or like when he um like in Colombia, he's in Ecuador, and he's like, these are cities he doesn't know, and so he's not sure where the safe parts are. But then he just like pretends, like he in his head, he's like, nah, man, nah, motherfucker, like, you know, I'm and he's like, I'm Salvadoran, and he's like, he always feels fine. He's like, no one's ever fuck with me. I was like, damn. So he's I don't know how he just travels by himself the way he does. Yeah, for sure. But like, there's things that are like specific. When I said Colombian, you're just like you knew exactly what I was talking about when I said my cousin's like, you know, with the Colombia. So it's just like there's certain things that are just like gotcha. See any last week's Zebra actually hooked it up. He's the one that told me about the cool article I wrote about. Now I have to find one. I didn't like saying where I'm from because people hate us so much for no reason. The funny thing is, no one hates us more than the very people that are in my same country. What, Mexico? Dude, it's like tell a Salvadoran that they're Mexican. It's like you fucking, or like you ask if they are, and you just like took their firstborn or something. I mean, same thing on the flip side, though. Apparently, polar bears, fun fact, guys, polar bears and grizzly bears keep mating, and they could eventually lead to a new species. Thought that was pretty neat. My roots are from Guadalajara, but everyone in Mexico hates it. I mean, a good reason for it. Oh, see, and that's the one thing I don't know. I don't know enough about like the different regions within Mexico. So it's just like at least you have to almost like be pretty tapped into like you have to know Mexico in order to kind of feel that and know what the fuck's up. Tom, you in here? Does where you're from in England have like a rivalry with anyone? And second question, do the soccer rivalries extend to the city themselves? Dude, hold on. Guadalajara has a Mexican soccer team, I think. I bet those fucking games get wild. Hmm. Nothing interesting so far in science news. Floating solar power. That could work. Water hogs? What is this? Damn. The drought in where is this? Southern California. So Nachito, do you have to worry about your water consumption or your water usage? Because they're talking about how there's like a little tiny washer with a little tiny hole to stop water hogs from using too much water. Wow, I had no idea that there was like such a huge drought in California. From what I know, most don't even consider Brazil to be Latin. Other countries in South America act super high and mighty that they come from money. Nino's attitudes are spicy, but Salvadorian one are extra spicy. Mexico is super modern. It's basically a corrupt country that's known for cartels and coyotes. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple things I would add, but I just don't really. I don't need that to be on video for all of eternity. Um, but that's more or less. Then plus like the random other countries like Colombia that I was saying. Dude, I'm not dumb. You never know, man. You never know. We'll talk about it on like a call or something. All right, dude. I'll see you in a sec. Yeah, I think I'm gonna write about this one. This seems like the right writing for today. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Microplastics are even in Antarctica. Microplastics is definitely a word. What are they? Killing me, Scrivener. Um, Maybe when they think about a barren, frozen, what is a tundra? Is that a tundra? Yeah, tundra. Lots of snow and few humans. Maybe penguins. Good thing about Antarctica, they think about barren frozen tundra, lots of snow, and few humans. Maybe penguins. I don't even want to go with that route. You just gotta make it, keep it simple. How do I do this? My class continues to infiltrate even the most remote part of Earth. New research identified tiny bits of plastic in the continent's snowfall. Discovered microplastics. What the hell? I literally just added this. Microplastic. Since microplastics. How the fuck is that? It's not capitalized. That's why you're not gonna script. You're killing me. Yeah, that's right. It's common knowledge that are in the ocean, but found microplastics. Um, in other words, microplastics are literally falling from the sky. But here we are. The scientist quote found a total. Ba, ba, ba. We will link that. That's wild that they find microplastics in snow, in like fresh snow in Antarctica. You think like if there's anything that's pure, it's that. Nope. I'm not all surprised. Like drinking from a plastic bottle. What do you mean, zebra? So this is saying that there's microplastics, like, so like I guess plastic particles. Yeah, I guess it would be from a plastic bottle. But it was found in fresh snowfall in Antarctica, which is amazing. Apparently, they've been found at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, or of the Mariana Trench. How did you find the ending? Ooh, that was I meant to I meant to message you, but you were not in the Discord. It was good, dude. I was like, it really built up to that one last line. I was like, it was like this huge thing, and then pow. Did you consider putting music, or were you just kind of like, it just didn't really call for it? But I thought it was good. You like went over and you told about all the different people's views and how they thought about it. And especially because you're also in a very unique position because you can't just assume that everyone has read the entire thing. So you almost have to kind of explain why people feel a certain way, if that makes sense. So I did like it. I did like it. Is that it? Is this part done? Yeah, no. I thought it was very impactful the way it was. Like I said, even the last it like all built up to the last line, which is, I love stories like that where it's like, you know, the ending. You know who said that is Edgar Allan Poe. If you know the ending, or I'm sorry, like figure out the ending first and then um right to that, right until you get there. Zebra Central is complete. Okay, cool. So now we're on to the next. Alright, turning this into a story. What if allergies to common microplastics? If there were there was just Poppy was a logical choice considering her rebirth in the first book, which needs to be rewritten. Rebirth armors can remain, but leading up to needs a rework. So do you think you're going to go back and rewrite some stuff, or are you looking to move on and continue on to the future? I would like their story to be published or work, but it cannot be as fanfic, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. Well, and then you could start playing around with Zebra if you wanted to. You could start playing around with telling the same period of time from a different character. And so that way you can layer on, like, Zebra's, what she's doing at this time, and then Poppy, and then Zebra, and then Poppy, and then... How's it going, Marco? Every time I watch your stream today, it buffered. Oh, my stream? Do you think? I wonder if it's me. Zebra, how is my stream coming across? Is it? Am I buffering? Am I lagging? Or is it like normal? Nachito, the soup? Is that what you had? It would be nice to have a better platform. Oh, okay. Tom, looks like you got a little bit of connection stuff. Nice, nice. What I have? I eat the same thing I eat every day. Rice, ground turkey, and vegetables. For me, you're normal. Okay. What was I gonna say? Zeb, you could look at, like, remember that one girl that was here, Xenia? I believe her name was. She was saying something about AO3 and is AO3 is a fan fiction site, and Wattpad. I know Wattpad is very popular, especially in China. So you could probably pick up some readers just by putting it on Wattpad. Oh, you're downloading Battlefield? Is that the newest Battlefield? Oh yeah. Dude, I heard it was not that great, but tell me how you like it. I can't tell you why it was not that great. Send a short story off to a competition. Oh, $5 for an entry isn't bad. Tom, I one time like for a couple years I was doing a lot of competitions, and some of them were like $75 an entry. But if you even if you get entered, you get like professionally judged. So like when you get like a review, like a 3, or I don't think they even reviewed it stars wise. You I don't think you get it. It wasn't stars. It was like almost like like a judging review. I don't know how else to say it. But anyways, I got some really good feedback on a couple of my earlier books because of that. So if you can find like one where you can almost get like you can find out the notes from the judges, that might help advance your writing. Michael, let me make ground turkey with some cumin, salt, and pepper, and some onions. Dude, nachito, I literally just like fry it or whatever. It's the Costco pack. So you get the four squares. I just do all four of them with like some adobo seasoning. That's and like some what's it called? Some olive oil. That's it. It's kind of basic, but it gets the job done. Did I win any? No, I did not win. I got a five. I was a top 10 in one of them, but I didn't win any. Two useful links. Space weather. Which one's space weather? Oh, interesting. I don't know what kind of adobo nacho. Like it just says adobo. It's like I think it's actually maybe it's the Whole Foods. Like it comes in like a packet like this. I think it was from Whole Foods. It might have been. It might have been. I'm not sure. Cause I don't. I honestly wouldn't even have put adobo in there. I would just put salt and pepper if it was just for me. Dude, I'm like a dog. Like I'll eat anything. I eat it as fast as I can. I get excited to eat the same thing because I'm just like, fuck yeah, food. I don't even think like, oh, what does it taste like? I imagine a dog eating, just and then imagine that dog with a spoon. Like that's me. They are hard. The competitions are hard, Tom. Like I mean, I'm sure they had some like really high top notch books in there. You're having connectivities that are not directly ice related, could do something taking place outside the atmosphere. Oh, true, Zeeb. I didn't think about that. You have to you have to like keep in touch with what's going on in nature way more than I do. Like it doesn't even cross my mind to be like, oh, what's going on with geomagnetic storms or solar flares or anything. But it's definitely that is definitely all. Last blog post got 9 likes. Dude, that's great, Tom. What was it about? From randos. Um, but it was just on storytelling quotes. Storytelling quotes like from an author or a writer or from stories. Yeah, dude, that kind of stuff always is popular. You can get a lot of traffic like that. Um, yeah, right? Dude, I don't even know if any of like my official like high traffic posts even get likes. I get a lot of traffic. I get a lot of clicks and low bounce rate, but I don't think I get actual likes on a blog post. That's a good sign. You're doing something right, Tom. Um, Ooh, nice. There's some stuff you can do. Oh yeah, this kind of stuff could definitely. I can see. I mean, these are also um, very good quotes. Yeah, dude, Tom, just keep posting shit, man. It's like you just gotta keep, keep writing. There's like plugins. I'm trying to think of like there's like something called Oxygen for WordPress and Elementor that you can use. I mean, really, you're good at Fiverr. Or you already found that your editor or your beta reader on Fiverr. I'm sure there's some like up and coming web designer that's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it for cheap. You used to post self-made memes on a regular basis, but that's fallen off over time due to half the audience being bots. Oh, on Twitter? Yeah. I'm really curious what's gonna happen with Elon's Twitter claim that like are the bot numbers and stuff. Years, a handful of years in the future. Allergy. Tried WordPress but never achieved any traction. That's more of a placeholder than anything else. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Zebra. Like I run Google Ads to my WordPress site and everything, but it's really just like it's like a place for people to find out about me. Like it's like where I live online. That's it. I genuinely believe that social media tech companies boost interaction with bots. Use cases big news in tech industry. Elon Musk has Twitter to provide. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm very curious to see like what becomes of the whole Elon Twitter bot situation. Because from what I was hearing slash reading, that's like probably the only way he can get out of the deal that he made is if he proves that Twitter lied on their SEC filings. I agree. Like that's the main thing is because he has so many like what Neuralink Boring Company, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink. It's like fuck, man. How are you gonna knock all this shit out? But it's also like that's why he works like it works so much. I thought about doing a rewrite, making it appear as fanfic while leaving out items that make it such, allowing it to be marketable at its conclusion. Because on a regular basis, its conclusions have a book that can be gifted to those who read it in prior. Oh yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. Yeah, you just have to. It's almost like you just have to keep in mind, almost at all times, that the people that might be reading this in the future don't know what it's from. And so, as long as you explain everything and, uh, make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's, type of stuff, it shouldn't be a problem at all to have like fan fiction that turns into like an entire like standalone story. He can fund multiple things, but to efficiently guide the vision of each project would be impossible. I know, dude. That's like it, and he's like, from what I understand, he's like an active part of these like goals or whatever. Like he works with them and like he's like involved with them, and it's just like fuck, man. How do you have enough time in the day? It's like, does he even think of it as like separate companies, or is he just like problems? Like, just he deals with just problems all day. I think Elon is doing exactly what he and his plan to do. Someone at that child level does not move without a team of advisors. Yeah, see, but Zebra, on one counterpoint to that logic, he 100% tweets whatever he wants. Like, there's no, and he's gotten in trouble with the SEC. He's gotten in trouble with like, there's like, it's like quite clear that his Twitter is not thought out at all. And so I just wonder how much that extends to other areas. Like I'd exactly. And so Zebra, there's Walter Isaacson's actually writing a biography about him right now. And so I'm very, very, very interested and excited to read about the people that are around him and the effect that they have on him. Because I don't know, like I would agree that like he has advisors, lawyers, and experts. I just don't think he listens to them. I honestly don't. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Like once the biography comes out, like Walter Isaacson's known for doing these like top tier biographies, so it's like I would imagine that it's pretty accurate because he's spending time with him right now. So the hell. I find what he's doing to be refreshing. Nothing grows from unsifted soil. Oh no, I agree as well. Like I think that there's let's put it this way. I think that there's a lot of people that have these kind of advisors, lawyers, experts, and that almost are paralyzed to do anything. And I think that he just doesn't even give a fuck. He's going to do what he wants to do. He has enough money to do what he wants to do. He's smart enough to either figure out the challenges or put himself in a position where the challenges are in his ballpark. So it's like I definitely like what I like that he's stirring the pot. I'm a big fan. Yeah, no, but to make a decision at that level for four projects that are all trailblazing at this, amen, Nachito. That first sentence, 100%. It is wild. It's just unheard of. 100% agreed. And he's like doing all of them. Now, of course, like there's people that are like, I understand where it's like there's people that are just don't think that he's doing as much as we think he is, but the fact remains that he is a key decision maker in like multiple large scale companies. And it's like, damn, dude, boy got himself in some serious situations. Dude, he does, right? It's crazy. And it's like, he has kids and everything. It's like, when do you spend time with your kids, bro? Elon has facilitated time himself being. I agree, and I also think he gets people to work way harder than they would under normal circumstances. Like he's good at making it seem like that they're changing the world. Whether they are or not is up for debate, but like he makes them feel like that, and so they work to the bone. Once someone is having fun and being supportive and doing what they enjoy, a person will go the extra distance to achieve it. Yeah, no, I agree. Could be like Elon and Enhancer. It's people that when they join a team, they amplify the ability of all their team. Everyone to be the one to take credit for being the person out there getting their hands dirty, but few take on the job of enhancing everyone else. That's a good point. But if like the enhancer can get people can motivate people to work, then it's like there can be then it just comes down to how good the enhancer is, right? One person can only do so much, but if an enhancer has nearly limitless enhanced potential, then it's like that enhancer can really crank like motivate a lot of people to work. I like video games. No one wants to be the warlock with wild to keep everyone from behind. Amen. No one, or in Overwatch, no one wants to be a healer. They all want to be the fucking the tank or the damage guy. Wouldn't mind him enhancing me to Mars with a small herd. Be the first space cattleman and set the stage for the future of exploration. Everyone needs to eat. Dude, and that's what he wants, you know? I don't even know if it's gonna be in his lifetime, but but he's looking to like start Mars colonization, so hold on. This is a good topic. I have to bathroom's calling, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hold on. So, guys, weigh in here. If you had the chance, if you had the chance to be one of the first Mars colonists, would you do it? So for me, I couldn't do it. Like even if even paid, like it would never happen. Because one, if I'm paid, what's the point? What am I gonna buy on Mars? I'm on fucking Mars. Nah, right? That's how I feel. Sounds like zebras a yes. But see, zebra, you have a very specific set of skills that would help you. It would help the 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 civilization, I guess, on Mars. Like I can entertain, write, whatever, everything from here and still ship it. Whereas like you can do things that like they would need. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this into Grammarly. I would have had a kid that needed the financial help. I'll just tell SpaceX to pay my fan. Oh, that's true. That's very nice of you. Even then, though, it's a tough sell. Like I can conceivably, but like I would probably, I lean towards no. Already used to rural isolation and animal husbandry. Bring on the livestock and a selection of breeding females to produce future helpers. Imagine the fanfic readership would blossom. Oh, that's very true. Because it's not even fan fiction at that point. It's like you could just turn it into what you're doing in life. I could see that. And to be honest with you, you could almost have like a Twitch stream up there. Be a quite the delay, but you could almost you could have like hang out with people on Earth still. They send you. There you go. You have to populate this place. If you could work on one of like the big companies, if you could work for one of the big companies, so Tesla, Starlink, Neuralink, or the Boring Company, which one would you choose? I would choose Neuralink. To be honest with you, I'd even consider being one of the early adopters of like a neural transplant. Subterranean ranching? Okay. That would, I feel like, I mean the first and obvious issue would be light. But you know, if you could figure out the light situation, I'm sure it's just a matter of tech. Boring Company, yeah, so what he does is he creates huge tunnels. So I think the first one's in Las Vegas, but it's effectively like a highway underground, so that to reduce traffic. Yeah. Isn't that wild? Zebra, did you know he had that one too? Boring out information since it would be needed for planetary habitations due to each planet's unique situation. With higher levels of solar radiation. Dude, Zebra, I'd never even thought of this, but I wonder if he's created the Boring Company as a precursor to working on um working on creating those tunnels on like other planets. You know, it's like if he nails if he already knows how to do a tunnel, well, it's like, okay, you just do two tunnels, or you know what I mean? Like he can kind of, you can, if you already kind of work out the kinks and work out the mechanics and the machinery, especially, then you could definitely, that'll translate to being on another planet. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just can't believe it. Like you said it like it's like so obvious, but like it never even occurred to me. What about earthquakes? True, but you don't have to be down there all the time. You would need biodomes on Mars, with radiation, especially from solar events, would be far more dangerous. Yeah, and I've known that's like definitely been a thing. The like being underground, that's kind of it's like a known, it not like a known thing, but like that's, it seems almost like obvious to, like you said, to have the natural shields. Nachito, what was your crazy experience? Ever watch Voyage to the Planet? No, I haven't. Let me see what that is. Is it like a movie? Space Odyssey, Voyage to the Planets? It says TV miniseries, maybe? What? Where'd it go? There it is. About. I didn't want to do that. This is a series based on what if using the actual information on the solar system and visiting various planets and the hazards each would present. I mean, I think from what I understand, Mars is the most has the highest likelihood of hosting like human life. They fast forward a short distance in the future, build a ship using known tech, and went for a tour of the soap. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. That could be good for like a futuristic sci-fi. Um, like a sci-fi story. I went to go get boba at his boba spot. The cashier was super hot and flirting with me, and I thought it was weird because I'm not that guy, you know? And I was like, she just wants to tip. I always tip regardless. You're like $3. The second I got in our seat, she started acting like I didn't exist. Like, what do people get from being petty like that? It wasn't even that she was ignoring me. It was almost like she wanted to let me know that she tricked me as if I fell for her flirting. Dude, that is weird. I mean, she got her tip, though, right? But it's just like, she didn't have to be cold like that. Maybe for her, it was just like being pleasant. But even then, even if it's like not flirting, but just being pleasant, then it's just like, why would it just be like so cold? Like, why would she flip a switch right away? I know it because I used to work at Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks for 9 years, and no, I again, so I worked at Starbucks forever, and then it was very much like register person. It's like, okay, interact with the customer, and then when the customer leaves the register, it's time for the bar person, the barista, whoever's making the drinks, it's their turn to interact. And so it was almost like a handoff situation. But no, I don't. No, no, I'm saying like maybe she thought it was. I don't know. Oh, when did Miss Marvel already come out? The innocent flex, subtle opening of a filled wallet, and a selection of other fun items that have mega trace. Yeah, right. So, question, Zebra, are you a cash only kind of guy? Oh, Miss Marvel already came out. I did not know that. They're being honest and feeling. Watch their eye movements. Check for preening. General brushing of their hair. The opening of their body language. Yeah, body language is a big one. Cash for debit, but not credit. If I can't afford it, it doesn't happen. Oh, okay, I was just wondering. So there's a guy that I support his Patreon, and he puts out videos about Google Ads management. Puts out a video a week, whatever. But he's in rural Texas as well, and he is notorious, and he like makes no apologies about it. He thinks it's funny, whatever. But he's cash only. He only pays in cash everywhere he goes. Cash, 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 cash. And it's like, I was just wondering if it was like a Texas thing, or if this gentleman is just unique in his own way. Um, but yeah, I know when someone is giving like seducing type energy, they have that specific type of eye contact and like looking at me from under her brow. Yeah, dude, maybe she was just embarrassed. Maybe she was feeling it at first, then she didn't really know what to do next, and then she was like, too much. Nah, nah, nah. I mean, no, I wasn't there. I was just saying. I was just saying. She knew. She knew what she was doing. Using my debit card this morning at 6 a.m. at the hardware. You have your hardware store is open at 6 a.m. You were there at 5. Goodness, Zeeb. And the way she's, yeah. I got you. I'm never tipping there again. Dude, just tip when it's like a cool dude instead of like a flirty girl. Last girl I ran into that wanted to play girl games, I made note of each time I visited that place. There were the older ladies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, tip the other people a different amount. Oh. Tonight's game 3 of the finals. I would definitely watch basketball finals if I had cable, but I don't. And I could put it on. It might be streaming somewhere, but I just don't feel like finding it. Like if I had the cable already, and you're just like do, fine. But there's a little smooth place that opened at 5 a.m. and unknown to most. I knew the owner. I went there. He was good. People were doing little side hustles. So I drove in town to get a smoothie. Tell me the recipe to make my own. That's why I do. Dang, man. So he was sharing his knowledge. And now you don't. He doesn't get your business. Dude, why does everything open up so early near you though? Like that's entirely too early. I mean, I'm awake at that time, but like I remember at Starbucks, you'd have like random people at the door at like 6 a.m. on the dot, and you're just like, yo, what the hell? He says, oh, right, that's his side hustle. I got you. Listen, when I'm there, I go in and out real quick. I don't remember her face. Plus, I'm a pretty shy guy, so like I kind of make me uncomfortable. Do you think do you think she felt that you were uncomfortable, and she shut down a little bit? No, I got a poker face. Okay. Yeah, dude. A lot of times they're super upfront. It's I don't know. I'm just like, okay. Let's see. Tom, welcome back, man. All right. Did you ever figure out your login situations with like your multiple accounts? I mean, if they catch me on the right day, gonna get the same energy back they up front. Most days I'm focused on other things. Amen. Hey, fucking men. Guys, question for you. You guys are in different parts of the world or parts of the country. What are your gas prices like? So, like, I know here, and Tom, you too, because I'm curious what gas is like over there. But like, I know over here, it's like 480, 480 a gallon ish, and that's like pretty fucking high. Nachito, shit, I bet you it's really high over near you. But then Zebra, you got some. I think you probably have some big ass. What's it called? Some big, trucks and stuff. You got to gas up. So what's your guys' fuel situation looking like? Tom, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. 626. Oh my god. Mm. I mean, I'm not. You don't need to apologize to me for subscribing, Tom. Okay. Zebra and Tom, what are gas prices over near you? 449 at the station. Okay, it's not bad. All right, Tom. So just answer how much gas prices are, and then you can go download Battlefield. 'We'll check Mexico prices this weekend as we are headed there to visit some family and then come back across for a charity event. Oh yeah, true. I'm very curious as to what they're like over there. It's so interesting knowing people from like all over the world and stuff, because it's like I just know I used to fill up my tank because I never let my tank get below a quarter, and so it used to be I could fill up for like $40, $45 from 3/4 of the tank, but like from a quarter to full. And then now though it's like 55, 60. Let's just say what you're experiencing now with gas prices is what we've always experienced. Really? I hadn't thought about that. So what are you looking at right now, Tom? Do you know offhand how much gas is near you? I actually had to quit my job as a testing engineer due to the gas. Really? Because you couldn't afford to get there? Shit. I mean, I bet you if it's far enough away, I could guarantee it. You'd think that with these gas prices, there'd be or like this level of gas, it's like there's so much more incentive to work on electric vehicles. What policies? Like I'm just surprised that there hasn't been more progress in the electric vehicle front. But I guess I mean people have like real like car companies, oil companies, all these people have like real like vested interest in not switching to electric. I was working 30 minutes away and working for 17 an hour, and that's super low for my job in my area. I should have been getting paid at least 24. True. Yeah, I could. Yeah, especially since you're working with like tech. But even so, the gas prices just made it too prohibitive. Sounds like. Whoa. AI expert says that soon people will raise virtual children that cost less and are less messy. So it's almost like a Tamagotchi children. Holy shit, that's it. I like this article. I'm gonna fucking save this for maybe next week. That is that is good. Good stuff. Are electric car batteries easy to make and safe? No, like they're not. And the precious metals are a problem, and safety I think has gotten better, but I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the battery tech to make any claims either way. I'm just saying I'm surprised that with the like oil prices and also the stranglehold that like OPEC has on production, I'm just surprised that there hasn't been further strides made in the electric vehicle um, market until recently. I mean, I would imagine they can't like I would imagine the delta between environmentally and crash safe isn't as the delta is not that significant. Like even if they are more, I would think even if they are more environmentally um unsafe, even so, it's like going from 90 to 95 instead of like 5 to 90. They aren't. The radiation from electric cars far above what is considered FDA safe. See, is that a real thing? I hadn't heard that. Yeah. I mean, I just looked it up. There is a lot of the it looks like there is a lot of radiation. I just don't know the levels. I don't see anything necessarily that says that it's past levels that the FDA deems safe. But it's not it could exist. I'm just saying I don't see anything about that on like a quick search. But again, I haven't done any research on it. But either way, the point is that I would think that there would be different like more research into different modes of transportation with the stranglehold that oil has. That's all. Like even if electric car batteries are worse off for even if like take all this for real, like take all of it and give it like all that. Yes, like they're bad. Yes, they're worse. Yes, whatever. Okay, that's I could all see that. Um, Made with oil, like everything, because the plastics and everything. But I'm just saying in terms of transportation strictly. I'm just surprised that there's not more investment in it in the electric vehicles than what there has been. But again, like I said, you're trying to get it's like momentum, right? If there's no momentum, you're trying to get a ball rolling that's a very heavy ball. So it's like it's just not necessarily something that's going to happen quickly, I think. That's an interesting one. Does it benefit society to get a ball rolling by rolling it over to society itself? I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess in that abstract, I think in that if you're gonna put it in that abstract way, sure, but like rolling it over the society itself, like I don't investing in research for electric vehicles, I don't think necessarily is rolling over a society. But again, like it's just and the answer could be that like that consuming fossil fuels is the most efficient, right? Like it could be that. I'm just saying that I would think that there'd be more research given the prices, given our feeling towards OPEC, all these things. I'm just surprised that there's not more investment. It's a heavy ball in there. Rich people trying to. Amen. A fucking man. Like there's a lot of people. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people and companies that are trying to stop it from rolling. But I mean, I think that there's a lot of work. The rich have explored the options for general society since they have the funding. Um, sure, I guess. But I mean, like, it's just almost like anything, right? Like, that's like saying we shouldn't have explored like, I don't know, new TVs, right? And so it's like, why would we like the rich people have the funding to get the best TV, so we can't like invest in researching TVs, but it's like eventually the price falls for everybody when you get the processes, when you get like a good process, when you get to scale, the prices fall. So that's why we have like I was in Costco the other day and you can get like a nice you can get like a freaking pretty legit TV for like just like $400 or $500 and it's like holy shit. I remember when this shit cost so much more money. You also like to browse Twitch for random people to watching this girl deadass whipping out a cock ring. Oh my god! Wow, maybe she's trying to educate her community. She's like, "Yo, what's good, guys? Gentlemen in the stream, listen up. I got a hot tip for you. Don't ever leave home without one." Look at you, look positive. I'm sure that's not what she's saying. And you never know, man. Maybe she's just trying to help out. It's like almost maybe she's giving like a female anatomy course. Like, gentlemen, this is what gets women going. And you know, she's just trying to help, she's out here trying to educate the populace. Without the rich to fund and explore, fund and exploit future ideas, where do you think society would be? Probably in. I mean, probably in the same place. It was like hunter gatherers, because you could argue that the first rich people were the first people with a farm, and so they were the first people that could accumulate wealth, and then they're the ones that could store grain. They could kind of set up planting regimens, and so those are the first wealthy people. And so by kind of spinning that forward, it's like you almost need the trailblazers with the resources to move forward, so that way it doesn't stagnate. All I'm saying is, a girl wanted me to use one, I would dead ass say, get shit that fiddles with her own shit, not mine. I mean, but shit, if she was gonna give it to you as a gift, Nachito, it's just like, hey, put this on. It's like, fuck, like, especially if it's like if shit's about to go down. I ain't never been like, yo, back up, pump the brakes once shit's about to go down. Like, once that train has already left the station, shit. Okay. A world. Have you guys heard of the AI like thought experiment of the paper clip? Hey man, if I ever deny your enemy, it's your friend. It's your, if you're Batman, just think of it as Robin. Bro, draw the line of I mean, she ain't asking to get pegged. It's just like, yo, it's just like a little thing. I don't know. I don't think I'd care. True. Proper diet and exercise. Yeah, man. Keep those T levels. Oh shit, Manny, you'll find this interesting. Apparently, Apple have acquired the rights to an untitled Formula One film starring Brad Pitt, and Lewis Hamilton is producing. So Lewis Hamilton's about to produce a movie. Man, he should focus on winning races. Straight up. I'll watch the shit out of that movie though. Yeah, here I'll share the tweet. Dude, hold on, who has more points for Mercedes this year? Who has more points for Mercedes this year? Yeah. George Russell's is 4. Shit. It's Verstappen, Leclerc. Dude, Sergio Perez is killing it this year. And then George Russell's 4th. Let me see what number Louis is. Then Carlos Sainz, then Lewis Hamilton 6th. Oh shit. Might be a changing of the guard. Once you get your ladies on divided attention, put on a bib and lift her up. Dude, you gotta go to like a seafood restaurant and get like the lobster bibs, the plastic ones. Especially not easy nor safe. And without the rich, forward progression would be heavily hindered. The oil, most things we have would not be interesting. Yeah, correct. I agree with that, Zebra. I'm just saying that I'm surprised that there's not more investment in easy and safe batteries. Like, I agree with your statement and analysis of where things are now. I'm just saying that I'm surprised, personally, is that there's not more investment into creating the batteries that will not be dangerous and hard, if that makes sense. But I agree. Without the rich, forward progression would be heavily hindered. I do agree with that. Yes, I love Perez. Did you see the episode where Perez went from last to win the race? No, was that I only saw season 4, the most recent season. Maybe I don't remember that one. But dude, he like it's like the two races ago he had to let Verstappen move or let Verstappen through, and then he won the last one. It's like shit, dude. Like, are you sure Max is your top guy? See, that's the situation that's shitty. How much do you think they invest in explore better battery technology since the key item for exploration beyond our atmosphere? Yeah, correct. But I think there'd be even more investment because I think there'd be even more investment if there was private investment in the auto industry, which there is, right? Like there has been. Like Ford has there's the F-150 Lightning. There's so many electric car companies now that it's just like it feels like we hit an inflection point a couple years ago maybe where it's like, oh, people were like, oh shit, we need to get our electric vehicles, our electric batteries and shit like that up to snuff. How much do you think they do and have invested in bat? I don't know any. I have no sense of scale for that, Zebra. I couldn't say with any confidence at all. I can't. I couldn't even say with any percentage confidence at all. But I still think that I still would think that it would be more. That it, I was I would I'm surprised that it's not more. Let's put it that way. Given the United States attitudes towards the Middle East, OPEC, and climate, I'm surprised it's not more. That's all. Would I go back to the earliest periods of the 1900s by chance? Before, but I mean, when electric motors were still like a viable option. I mean, percentage wise, percentage of total R&D, I could see it going back to that level of investment. That's one thing I don't get when you think don't want to raise to the occasion and be embarrassed. Amen. A fucking men, Nachito. More than one way to skin a cat. One thing I couldn't do as a Formula One driver is like all the traveling. Like they're all over the world, and like Azerbaijan. Okay, that's this Sunday, but like, okay, like what the fuck do you do in Azerbaijan? Like, can I don't know. Like some of them are really cool. Like you go to Italy, you go to Spain, Monaco, and then it's just like Baku, cool. You end up being a future grandparent. So yeah, something's gonna happen. I'm looking forward to returning to Baku. Manny, you know what I think they should have done in the show, or they should do in the Netflix show about Formula One? I think they should have a full blown episode or throughout scattered throughout. They should show what each of the Formula One drivers drives on the road. Like who has the best car, who has the worst car. Like I want to see what kind of cars they drive in real life, not on the track. Like that's one thing I'm very interested in. How much do you think they've invested and explored other vehicle propulsion technology, and how far could they push the tech? See, and okay, so now we're starting to get on like the cutting edge of shit, and so like I'm sure that there's like alternative fuel sources. The problem is, I think that there's a lot of problems with even getting enough fuel to make it viable. So, for example, like hydrogen. If you're just gonna go pure hydrogen play, I'm sure it's theoretically possible. I just the availability of the it's just like way too expensive as opposed to like now it's rather prohibitive, but if you flip to another fuel source then it's just like it starts to get out there. And I think that's where it's just like that's the stuff that might be reserved for space travel that might trickle down to consumers within like before 2100. Is getting enough fuel to make it happen is part of the key. I mean, just not necessarily getting enough. Hold on. What do you mean? Like having it has to be viable. And right now, I make no like I understand that oil is the most viable thing, right? Like we have the infrastructure for it. We have all these like incentives for using oil, so it's like it is the most viable fuel source right now. I'm just like I said, I'm just surprised that there's not more forward leaning investment towards an alternative fuel source. How much do you think they invest in explore other vehicle propulsion technologies? I literally I have no frame of reference or sense of scale of R&D, like propulsion R&D. So this would be like now we're talking like I would imagine like your Lockheeds, your Northrop Grumman's, they probably have some cutting edge stuff. But again, you can't get liquid oxygen, right? So it's like even if you make this like perfectly efficient liquid oxygen engine, it's not going to matter. When you switch from one viable tech to another, at what point would you do it to achieve the minimal amount of disruption? Okay, and see, this that assumes that minimal amount of disruption is the goal, right? Like I'm saying that I would think that the incentives would be maximal disruption. So, for example, climate change and relying on OPEC. I would think that, in my opinion, the United States companies and government would want to disrupt that balance that is like the status quo. So like when your question's like the minimal amount of disruption, I would think that it wouldn't want to be minimal. It's like, yo, we got to do this as soon as possible. Yeah, I think that I think it should happen sooner rather than later. But I also don't think that I don't think the goal is minimal disruption, or I don't think it should be, because we're literally trying to like upend a status quo. So that's where it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to almost like just disrupt it. So it's like rip the Band-Aid off. Is OPEC a needed quantity considering having home capabilities of energy? Like a needed quantity considering having home capabilities of energy. So can you rephrase that? OPEC a needed quantity considering. In ripping the Band-Aid scenario, what is the acceptable body count? Okay, I could see that. And so that's where it comes into play. Like, there doesn't necessarily have to be any bodies, not necessarily, right? But you almost have to wait, and then that comes into play. Like I forget what philosopher it is, but it's like, what's worth more? Now, like a now or a future? And so I would tend to say that like a life now would be more valuable, but given the climate, not like climate change, given the sentiment in this kind of times, I would say that it's going to happen no matter what. I mean, should OPEC be considered a viable option if you had the capabilities and resources to be independent? Yeah, because at a certain point, it's like if you like other countries need to be in the same technological like level, because what's the point of having all this dope tech or these exports or even iPhones if people are struggling and like can't even get basic stuff? So I think they're needed, but I'm just saying here in the United States, I'm just surprised that there's not more incentives to push alternative fuel sources. But I mean, but on the other hand, there is a lot of movement towards alternative fuel sources, right? Like, even at all times, it seems like there's new cars coming out with new tech and new electric vehicles, and there's like it almost feels like there's a sea change happening, and so it's just like, okay, like I just thought it would be, I thought there would be more in the pure science aspect of it to like make sure that it gets implemented. A random question: have you looked into quantum computers? They may be able to answer our energy needs. I haven't looked into them since quantum class, like since taking quantum physics in college. But from what I don't know how they would necessarily help our energy needs off the rip, because it would just be like a faster processor, or it's able to carry out way more calculations, like like just orders of magnitude faster. So like, yeah, there'd be less energy usage from computing, but I just don't know how that would reduce our overall energy consumption, because that's, I don't, from what I understand, I don't think that's the number one driver of energy consumption, but I'm not sure on that. So OPEC is not a requirement. Why are they relied upon? A quantum ring, a fucking man. It's in more than one place at once. That's the key. Not the rip, but it can. Let's say finer combiner elements make something. Yeah. Well, then you get into like the whole stability question, because like all of the highest energy like elements are just flashes in the pan. Like quite literally, they appear for a microsecond. They show up on a like some sort of measurement, probably like a some sort of spectrometer or something, and then they just disappear. And so because like they're just too unstable. But yes, they could be the ones to crunch the numbers to figure out another thing. But so if OPEC is not a requirement, why are they replied? Why are they relied upon? I mean, they're they're a requirement for the status quo. That's for damn sure. I also don't think that we could be. I don't think that the United States could be energy independent. That's why it's going to take relying on battery tech and whatnot until before we can rip the band-aid off. Has the U.S. been energy independent in recent times? I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. It can find element 115. There you go. It very, yes, exactly. It could. It could be the one crunching the numbers. No, that's a good point. Like, I mean, and that's one of the things that it's always interesting to me, because it's like kind of switching gears here. It's like that economic theory that you can't, if you what is it? You can create almost like infinite amount of money, because eventually you will catch up to it in terms of creation, in terms of wealth creation. The most stable. Zebra, you'd be a good Elon-esque tweeter. All right. Zebra's yeah, right? But yeah, let me go feed Kita real quick. I'm going to and then Zebra, I'm more than willing to continue the questions and answers. Hopefully I'm not saying anything too inflammatory. Um but um but yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Let me just take care of the dog, and then I'll hop on Destiny.